Hare Krishna. So today we continue our seminar on the art of binding the Lord in the heart. Yes, and we didn't even finish the first verse, actually. Okay, so in previous classes we mentioned how important it is to properly understand tattva and also to bind with Krishna with deep feelings, because tattva itself is not enough to connect with Lord in the deeper level, but without tattva our emotions are material. So rasa is based on tattva. This is very important to understand. It's not other way around. Without proper understanding of our sambandha, there will be not proper understanding of our prayojana, and it will not be proper understanding of even abhidaya. And therefore, we should know tattva very much, our sambandha gyan. And I mentioned yesterday that Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that this not knowing tattva enough is anartha on our path of devotional service, and we cannot rise above anartha nivriti stage of our spiritual journey. Yes, because we are materially conditioned and we will never rise above material consciousness if we don't have proper understanding of who we are, who is Krishna, and what is our goal, what is our position, and what is proper sadhana. Yes, because if we don't know what is proper sadhana, then we will pray to Krishna for different material boons. And we can see that this is happening even amongst the Vaishnavas. I don't know if you have heard for Dr. Nrsimhadev. Have you heard about Dr. Nrsimhadev in Mayapur? Dr. Nrsimhadev, yes. He's famous as Dr. Nrsimhadev. People are, and devotees are paying for puja for Nrsimhadev to get cured for different diseases. And Krishna is merciful. Of course, ye atamam prapadyanti tam stateva bhajamyaham mama vartmanam vartanti manushyah varta sarvasha. As one surrenders, so Krishna also responds accordingly. So if we want different material boons, such as health, good relationships, good children, good husband, good wife, yes, this may be desires in mode of goodness, but are material desires, and will keep us in material world, because everything material keeps us in material world. Yes, because we have desire for material enjoyment, actually, to enjoy material life. Yes, and with this desire, with such desires, we turn to the Lord, and so Lord responds, and we live quite piously. Devotees usually are not living sinfully. So the Lord responds to our prayers. So if you want to achieve what the Damodarastaka and what Sattvavrata Muni here prays in the Damodarastaka, pure love for Krishna. Such desires are great impediments in our path. Yes, that we cannot go beyond them. Yes. So we should know first what is proper tattva, because we may have such material desires, but at the same time, very sentimentally, we think, yes, I want Krishna Prema, I want Krishna Prema. But this doesn't go together. It's just the opposite. Like there was a joke that one came to some pub and he ordered a hot tea with ice. And the bartender said, this is a Slovenian joke, I don't know if it applies in English, and that you should take a straw from your head. So it means if you don't have any brain, you have straw in your head. So you can take this straw for sipping the tea from your head. If you want to have hot tea with ice. So if we pray for material boons and we want to achieve the highest prema, pure Krishna prema, it's like this. Wanted to mix two opposite things together. It doesn't mix well. Yes. So yesterday we mentioned the Paribhasa Sutra for Krishna Lila from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Trayacha Upanishad Bishcha Sankhya Yogeshcha Sattvate Upagiyamana Mahatmyam Harim Samanya Tatmacham. That Vedas and Upanishads are glorifying Krishna. Yes, and how Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Mother Yashoda took him as her ordinary child. So we should understand that because Paribhasa Sutra gives light to all the verses of some topic. Paribhasa means that gives light. So we should understand Krishna Lila, all Krishna Lila, with the light of this verse. So Krishna is never an ordinary child. He is glorified by the Vedas and Upanishads as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, because in India, many times we can hear, you come from India, so you can corroborate if it's true, that why Krishna is dancing with the wives of other men. They don't, they can't accept this, isn't it? Yes. But they don't understand the philosophy of Bhagavatam. Therefore, Prabhupada says, if you want to understand the 10th canto, you should first study the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. And you should understand this Paribhasa Sutra for Krishna Lila. Krishna is in the heart of every living entity, so we can all dance with Krishna in our heart. And this is the purpose of Krishna Katha, to hear Krishna's glories, to start dancing with Krishna in our heart. And then we develop so deep emotions for him that we will forget Krishna's supremacy. This is the message of this verse. Yes, that although Krishna is glorified as the Supreme Person, we should have such deep, intimate relationship with him that we will forget his supremacy. Yes. And he will also forget his supremacy. Not just we will become ignorant of his supreme position, but Krishna will also forget his supremacy. Yes, this is our goal. Yes. So we mentioned that Mother Yashoda put Krishna down when she went to save the milk from the stove, which was boiling over. And Krishna became extremely angry. And then, and we mentioned how the act of Yashoda is bhakti, although Krishna was not satisfied with that what she did. And on the other side, the act of Chanura and Mushtika, who very much satisfied Krishna and Balaram, their act was not bhakti. Yes, we should understand this properly also. Yes, because the intention of Mother Yashoda was for Krishna's pleasure, and the intention of these fighters was to kill Krishna, not to make Krishna happy. So, for this reason also, Krishna keeps himself in position of ordinary child. Although he's not happy that he was put down, but nevertheless he keeps his position as an ordinary child of Mother Yashoda. Yes, because this is a loving dealing between mother and the son. Yeah. And so, in his anger, Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Jai. In his anger, he broke the pot in which Mother Yashoda churned yogurt to get butter. And this yogurt, half butter, spilled on the floor. And Krishna then went to another room because he was a little bit afraid what will Mother Yashoda say. And so he went to another room and broke another pot of butter and started feeding monkeys with this butter. And when Mother Yashoda came back, she saw that the pot is broken, and she saw these footsteps, buttery footsteps, leading in another room. And so she took a little stick to punish Krishna, and went to fetch Krishna. And Krishna was very apprehensive and was looking here and there if Mother Yashoda will appear. And suddenly all the monkeys start to shriek and run away. And Krishna also, he climbed before on the grinding mortar to reach the butter. And so now he jumped from this grinding mortar and ran as fast as he could. And although it is explained in the beginning of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that Maharaj Nanda and Yashoda, they got Krishna when they were quite old. People in Vrindavan were afraid that Maharaj Nanda will not have an issue, so they will be without the prince. So she was not so young anymore, Mother Yashoda. And it is described she was quite chubby also, not so skinny. That is modern ideal of beauty, to be very skinny. But she was not so skinny. So she was running very fast behind him, and flowers were falling from her hair. There were two kinds of flowers. One flowers were helping Mother Yashoda. Yes, get Krishna. and they jumped from her hair to and to make her easier to catch Krishna, not to carry excess weight on her head. And others didn't want to be part of this conspiracy against Krishna. And they jumped off. So it is very interesting that although these great yogis strive extremely hard to capture Krishna in their heart, not even outside, inside, by thinking of Krishna, to capture him in the heart, they cannot. But Mother Yashoda, although she was not a great yogi, she was running faster than Krishna, who is explained in Ishopanishad that he's faster than anyone else. Although he's in one place, he's faster than anyone. No one can run faster than Krishna. Yes. But Mother Yashoda was faster than Krishna. So she finally caught him. And at that time, the second verse begins of the Damodarastaka. Rudanta muhur netra yugmam rijantam karam buddha yugmena satanka netram. Rudanta muhur netra yugmam rijantam karam buddha yugmena satanka netram. Muhushvasakam patririkankakanta Stita griva damodaram bhakti-badam. Hare Krishna. And seeing his mother's stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful, and his quick breathing shook the strand of pearls on his neck, which bore 3 lines like a conch shell. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound with the ropes of his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. Yes, this wonderful description. So the Lord, as we mentioned yesterday, who is feared by fear personified, and Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti, is astonished. How is this possible? That you who are feared by fear personified were afraid of Mother Yashoda, of simple gopi, simple cowherd lady, with a little stick in her hand. Yes. You who showed universal form several times, and now you are afraid of Mother. And he was crying torrents of tears from his eyes, and he was scrubbing his eyes, which were smeared with kajala. Kajala is a soot from fire, and it's used for mascara, for black mascara for eyes, ointment, and this kajala smeared all over his face because of his crying, and streams of tears were pouring over his cheeks. Yes. And he was sobbing. Muhushvasakam patririkanga kanta. Muhu means again and again. Shvasa means he was breathing very deeply. He was sobbing. And his neck were decorated with 3 lines like conch shell. Who of you have children? Not many. 3? You too, yes. Yes, some of you have children. And if you remember, when children are very small, they're chubby and extremely sweet. And they have these different lines on their wrists and on their neck. And this is extremely beautiful, at least for their parents, and not for others. They're charmed by these bodily features of young children. And usually little creatures like cubs and babies and little children are very cute. And this is Krishna's protective method, that they would not be left alone, yes, or killed very easily. You cannot kill such a cute creature. Even if there is an animal, if you're an animal mrigari, animal killer, you feel natural love for such small baby animals, and also for baby humans. Yes, they're very cute. So Krishna was extremely cute. Of course, Krishna was much transcendently cute, much more cute than anyone else can be cute. So he was extremely cute. Also his crying was cute, was sweet. Everything is sweet in the land of sweetness, as it is said in this Damodarastaka, which is described how everything is sweet in the abode of sweetness in Vrindavan. Yes. Then Mother Yashoda tried to bind Krishna. And although Krishna's waist is explained that was 12 fingers wide, Mother Yashoda couldn't bind Krishna. And she collected different ropes and tied them one to another. But no matter how many ropes she collected, there were always 2 fingers too short. And she was quite intrigued, and she worked extremely hard to bind Krishna, but she couldn't. And all the neighbors came to see this fun. And they were laughing too. And they were bringing their own ropes to help Mother Yashoda to bind Krishna. And they were wondering, how is this possible? Because Krishna's belly didn't grow bigger, and the ropes certainly didn't get shorter. But they were always 2 fingers too short. Yes, and this has a very deep esoteric meaning for devotees, which I believe that the majority of you know what these 2 fingers represent. What these 2 fingers represent?
Endeavor and passion.
Yes, our first finger is our endeavor. Yes, and the second finger is Krishna's mercy. So without our endeavor, we will not achieve our goal. And without Krishna's mercy, we cannot achieve our goal either. So we need both for spiritual success. We should perceive everything in our spiritual life that as it is completely depends on us. on our endeavor. But we should count on Krishna as if everything is dependent on Krishna's mercy. Yes. So we should take whole responsibility ourselves for our spiritual life. Never blame Krishna. Never blame others. Parents that we are in a certain position, or other devotees that they're not serious enough, or anyone else, or a spiritual master that he doesn't have time for me. No, we should take the whole responsibility for our spiritual journey ourselves. Yes. So, and she strived really hard to bind Krishna with all her strength. And she was perspiring in this endeavor. And we should take her example in her endeavors. And we should try to bind Krishna with her methods. First is bhava. Bhava means deep loving feelings towards Krishna. She tried to bind Krishna not with envy, out of envy or out of some anger, to take some revenge on Krishna. But she wanted to bind Krishna to protect him, to serve him actually. Because she had to perform many different duties. If Krishna he's too naughty, he could get into different troubles. So it's better to be bound that he will not do nonsense anymore. Yes, this was her service for Krishna. So first is bhava. And next is utkanta. Utkanta means deep eagerness. It is also explained how gopis are waiting Krishna to come in these different bowers in Vrindavan during the night. And utkanta. Kanta means neck, like we have kantimala. And ut means to lift your head, lift your neck, to stretch your neck. Where is Krishna? Is Krishna coming? This is utkanta. To be very eager to meet Krishna. Yes. So she was very eager to bind Krishna. So this should be our next quality, to bind Krishna. First is bhava, deep loving affection for Krishna. Next is utkanta, eagerness. Yes. And it is explained that enthusiasm by Rupa Goswami is the first requirement for bhakti to flourish. Yes. Utsaha nisha taryata tat karma pravartanat. Sanga tyaga satovriti shadbir bhakti prasidyati. Yes. Utsaha, which is enthusiasm, or we can say eagerness here, is the first requirement also. Then next is sambandha. Sambandha with Krishna. She was, of course, in the position of a mother, and Krishna was her son. But we should also develop deep longing for certain relationship with Krishna. Yes. It is explained by Lord Kapila in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tvam bhakti-yoga paribhavita hrit saroja seshu tekshita pato nananata pumsam yat yad yata rogaya vibhavayanti tatat vapuh pranayasi sadunugraha. That Lord Krishna accepts the form which directly corresponds your hankering for him. Yes. So we can, by our hankering for certain relationship with Krishna, Krishna will respond accordingly, as we mentioned before. That ye tamam papadanti tamstateva pachamaham. As one surrenders unto me, I will respond accordingly. So if we try to develop certain relationship, we hanker for certain relationship, we pray for certain relationship, Krishna will respond accordingly, will reveal himself in such a way to us. Yeah, so sambandha should be there. So we should hanker for certain relationship, and try to develop this deep closeness to Krishna. And next is mamata. Mamata means his mind, and in one definition of bhakti, it's mamata prema sangata. That Uddhava and Narada and all confirm that bhakti is mamata prema sangata, that we are connected with Krishna in love, and we say Krishna is mine. This is mamata, he's mine. My lover, my friend, my son. Yes, Krishna is mine. So yes, we should have this mamata. And priti. Priti, this means intense affection for him. Affection. Yes. So much so that he completely absorbs our mind in him. Yes. So, next, I can see that we have very little time at our disposal. We are in the second verse, and today is Wednesday, and there is only 2 sessions, and maybe a third one. What is about the third one? In the Friday evening? Sorry?
Be something else.
And there will be something else. So maybe I should come next year again to explain the next 4 verses. We go, because maybe it's not wise to just go quickly through everything. Not beneficial for anyone. What do you think?
Save some nectar so you're anxious to get it.
For next year, for next part, next year. Okay, next Kartik. Maybe the beginning of Kartik. So yes, and in this connection, it is to be understood our philosophy. We already said that we should take responsibility for our spiritual life, but at the same time count on Krishna's mercy. And there are, in Ramanuja Sampradaya, there are 2 kinds of followers of Ramanujacharya. One are followers of Tamil scriptures, and others are followers of Vedic scriptures. And those followers of Vedic scriptures are Vadakalai, and the others are followers of Tenkalai philosophy. And Vadakalai philosophy is that our life is similar to baby monkey. And monkey is carrying around a baby monkey, and baby monkey is holding on her mother. And mother jumps from one branch to another, and baby monkey is completely responsible that he holds for her mother or his mother. And if he falls down, then mother will never accept him again. So he has to cling to his mother very tightly. Yes. So she's carrying him around, but he is responsible to hold on her. But this Tenkalai philosophy, the other branch of Ramanuja Acharya's followers, is they compare their spiritual life to little kittens. And they say that like a little cat is carried around by mother cat in her mouth. So mother cat takes all responsibility for carrying the little cat around. And little cat doesn't do anything, just completely surrenders to his mother's will. So they completely depend on Krishna's mercy. Yes. As little cat is completely dependent on his mother's mercy to carry around. But our philosophy is neither of these. It's combination, we can say, in one sense, of both. And our comparison is like a person who fell into the well, deep dark well, and he's crying for help. And then one person comes and throws a rope into the well. And so his duty is to catch on this rope, and then the person will take him out of the well. Yes. So there should be our endeavor, but we should also completely depend on others' mercy. That means Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy. Yes. Yes. And then Baladev, at the time when this happened, this lila of Mother Yashoda binding Krishna, and then, first we should mention that when Krishna saw that Mother Yashoda is striving so hard, he allowed her finally to be bound by her love, as it is mentioned here, how he's bound by love. And when Balaram, who was at Upananda's place, this Krishna's brother, Maharaj Nanda's brother, and other boys also, when they returned home, he saw that Krishna is bound and that he's crying very much. And he became furious. Who dared to bind Krishna? I will punish him immediately. And then Madhumangal whispered to Balaram that it was Mother Yashoda who bound Krishna. And when Balaram heard that Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, he became silent. And then he tried to untie the knot by which Mother Yashoda bound Krishna, but he couldn't. He couldn't untie the knot. Why he couldn't untie the knot? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he couldn't untie the knot. Because he's in Sakya Rasa with Krishna. He's his friend. He wanted to play with Krishna, and Krishna was bound. But Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda, and Vatsalya rasa is superior to Sakya rasa. So this knot was bound by Vatsalya rasa, by Vatsalya emotion to Krishna. And so Sakya wasn't strong enough to untie it. So this knot was untied only when Maharaj Nanda appeared and saw that his son is bound. What happened? And he untied the knot. And yes, but before that happened, the boys just tip over this grinding motor to which Krishna was bound, and they said, just drag this grinding motor with you, because we cannot untie you, so just drag this that we can play together. And then Krishna dragged this grinding motor between two big Arjuna trees, and then just pulled them down. And Krishna makes everything, with one move he fulfills many different things, as we may know. And so with this pastime he fulfilled, of course, this mood with Mother Yashoda, his childhood mood with Mother Yashoda. And on the other hand, he also wanted to fulfill this boon that Narada gave to these two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara. They were two sons of most wealthy personality in the universe, one of the most wealthiest personalities in the universe, Kuvera, who is the treasurer of the universe. And as it is many times the case, such children are quite spoiled. And they were also extremely spoiled. And it is mentioned that amongst different things that degrade a person, nothing can degrade a person as much as wealth. Yes. It is said that if one is bereft of money, he's miserable. But if he has too much money, he's miserable even more. Yes. So, although it is said that money is the honey, actually, actually money is quite a curse. Yes. People are quarreling over money, and this was one of the boon of Maharaj Parikshit to Kali, that he can enter gold or money, and people will quarrel about money. Yes. Even devotees are not always immune to this allurement of money. Not long ago, I've heard a really interesting story. It was public, so I can speak about it. How one treasurer of one renowned spiritual master took extremely a lot of money from her own spiritual master. Yes. Very, very tempting can be. So we should keep vigilance not to get prey to these temptations. Yes. So yes, they were extremely proud because of their birth and wealth, and they thought that they can do anything. and they were playing with these ladies naked in the water. And when Narada came by, this was on heavenly planets, and he saw that they were playing in the water naked. These girls became ashamed immediately and they covered their bodies. But these two young, proud boys, they didn't become even ashamed of their nakedness and didn't try to cover themselves. So Narada, out of his mercy, cursed them to become trees in Gokula. Twin Arjuna trees. And they were standing there for 100 celestial years. Yes, this is approximately 15 million years. That's 15 million years. Very long time. But finally, Krishna pulled them down. Yes, and this curse became the greatest benediction. They would just degrade themselves with such a life. It is mentioned by our acharyas that devotees don't hanker for going to heaven or for different material boons. And it is explained that heavens are impetus for sinful life. It's shocking, isn't it? But why is like this? Because we get attached to enjoyments very much, to heavenly enjoyments. And it is explained in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita that when these enjoyments are finished, and sooner or later they are, we come back on this earth. And then we come back with this great desire for enjoyment. And here, these enjoyments are not easily available. So then, because of this great urge for enjoyment, we then many times engage in sinful activities to get the enjoyment we are hankering for. And so then we go to hell. It's just like a swing from heaven to hell and back and forth. So we should go out of this pendulum on the transcendental platform, beyond trying to enjoy this material life. Yes. So if we have desires for enjoyment in this material life, we should know this is just craziness. Striving for something extremely ephemeral that will be finished the very next moment. And we are striving so hard to get something that will be, in all cases, just next moment taken away from us. Isn't it craziness? Yes, it is mentioned in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, how in this world of phantasmagoria, actually, we mentioned yesterday or the day before yesterday, how everything we perceive is illusion, because everything is already gone. Because we mentioned that material energy is always changing, and what we perceive is already changed, because the light travels some time. So whatever we perceive is already gone. So if we strive for something, we are striving for something, for phantasmagoria actually. And we spend so much time to achieve this illusion, which is the next moment taken away, without doubt. So it's just sheer foolishness, actually. Yes, and spiritual life is meant to wake us up. Yes, and also this Krishna Katha is meant to wake us up. Yes, so we can see how important it is that we should a little shorten this, that we'll at least finish the second verse. How important it is to have association of the devotees. These two young men, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they were sinful actually, and extremely proud, and trying to enjoy very much. But although they were in such a miserable condition actually, they got benefit by the association of Krishna's devotee. So we should seek association of Krishna's devotees, especially those who are advanced in spiritual life. Yes, we should seek their guidance, their mercy, their association. Yes, very important. Tulayama lavina pina svaragana punarmuham Bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashisha. That even a fraction of a moment can bring most auspiciousness in our life. And this is mentioned in different places, how the association of the devotees is immediately effective. And on the other hand, even prolonged bathing in holy rivers it doesn't have such an effect. Yes, so and because this is this Damodarastaka song is about raga bhakti, we should know that we should search for people who have awakened this raga in their heart very much, because it is said that this is a path of mercy. We cannot achieve raga on our own. Yes. Krishna tat bhakta karunya matra lobeka hetuka pushti margataya kashiti hamaraga nugochate. That for raga bhakti is needed loba, or great hankering, as we can said utkantita. We should be very eager, but we can get this loba, Krishna tat bhakta karunya, by mercy of Krishna or bhakta. So we should search for bhaktas who have this loba in their heart very, very much. So we should intently search for such association and pray for it. Like Narottam Das Thakur prayed for Ramachandra Sangye. Although he was topmost devotee, but still he prayed for a devotee who is topmost also. Yes. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
So, being promoted to the heavenly planets doesn't seem to be promotion at all. That seems to be a curse, because you can become extremely attached there, and it's extremely difficult to renounce there, because the level of enjoyment is so high. So it doesn't. It's not like a gift, you know.
Yes.
In this case, what you just explained, if you get cursed, and then that can be called also mercy, although 15 million years, and then if you just keep this in mind, these amazing pastimes, then it becomes very childish to expect, as a devotee in the Krishna conscious movement, after a few years of being in the movement, then you expect already to see or to contact Krishna. in a few years.
Yes.
It's very naive.
Yes. Thank you very much for this comment. There is a story from Chaitanya Charitamrita how Mukunda, who sang really nicely for the Lord, associated with different kind of people, also Mayavadis sometimes, and therefore Lord was very angry because of this, Lord Chaitanya. And then he called for everyone to come to him except Govinda. And then devotees asked the Lord, please call Govinda also. And he said, no, he cannot see me because he's beating me with iron rod on the head. And how he's beating you with iron rod? Yes, he goes to these different places associate with impersonalists, and then comes here again and sings sweetly about Krishna. It's like beating me with iron rod on the head. And so I don't want to see his face. And they told him, and he was really devastated. And then he asked them, please ask the Lord if I can see him ever again. And they asked the Lord, can he see you ever again? And he said, no, he will not see me. He can see me only after millions and millions of lifetimes. And they said to him that what Lord said. And he started to dance ecstatically, yes, and jump and cried, I will see, I will see. and then the Lord saw how ecstatic is Mukunda and willing to wait for millions and millions of lifetimes to see the Lord again. His heart melted and called him immediately. So yes, we should also be as patient as Mukunda. As I mentioned before, this verse from Upadeshamrita, Utsaha Nishcha Daryat, and Daryat is patience. We should be patient. Yes, without patience, nothing can happen. We can think, yes, I will achieve prima bhakti in 5 years or 2 months.
You're always thinking like the frog,
Yeah.
Little patience, big patience. No.
Yeah. Yes, we should be patient and cry. This patience should make us cry for Krishna. As Prabhupada says, hope against hope. Yes. There is no hope, but still we hope. And cry for it. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, please. Can anyone?
Thank you for the kata, for sharing the nectar. I remember from yesterday you said, where's my phone? It's there. You said that it's not Anya Bilash, but Anya Bilashita Shunya. So what I understood is that we should not deny or negate material desires that we have, but focus on the tendency to develop spiritual desires. Did I understand that correctly, or?
Abhilasha means desire. Anya means other. And Shunyam, as we know from this prayer to Srila Prabhupada, is nothingness, zero. So Anya Bilasha Shunyam would mean that we shouldn't have any other desire to attain pure bhakti. But this is contradictory because we as sadhakas have many desires. We are not pure yet, completely purified yet. So it is said anya pilashita shunyam, that we shouldn't desire other desires. So although desires are there, we don't want them. We want to get rid of them. We want to get purified from them. They are not beneficial. They are there and they cause us that we are separate from Krishna. Only material desires are the cause of our to be separate from Krishna. Yes. And therefore, and prevent us to develop prema. So, therefore, any other desire is extremely unbeneficial. So, of course, we cannot pretend that we don't have any desires. This is foolishness, because if we pretend that we don't have any desires, then we cannot purify ourselves, because there is no desires. At least we pretend that there are no desires. So what happens, this is fanaticism or sentimentalism, either of these. Then we just cover our desires and we don't work on them with some nice looking paint. But it's the same if we paint the rusted iron. What happens? This rust will flourish under the paint, and it's just a matter of time when the paint will peel off. So we should scrub this rust thoroughly. This is our duty in our spiritual life, that we should get cleansed by Shravanam Kirtanam, not separately from bhakti. Only bhakti can cleanse our heart. Only Krishna actually. As it is explained by Krishna himself, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Eva Ye Prapadante Maya Medantarantite. Only by surrendering to me you can overcome Maya. And Shrimvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantak Stohya Badrani Vidunoti Sukhritsatam. Only by Shravanam Kirtanam, by practicing devotional service, by Abhyasa Yoga, as we also mentioned in these classes, by strict sadhana, we can then we allow Krishna to purify our heart from all these different desires. So they are not beneficial. Don't think that any of material desires is beneficial. It is not.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Damodarastakam ki jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanandi.